Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In Surah An-Nisa, verses 37 and 38, it says, Allah does not like those who are stingy and enjoin stinginess upon others and conceal what Allah has given them of His bounty. And we have prepared for the disbelievers a humiliating punishment. And also those who spend of their wealth to be seen by people and believe not in Allah nor in the last day. And he to whom Satan is a companion, then evil is he as a companion. Now, as we have seen in the previous verses, Allah has explained to the Muslims the rights that they have on others and the rights that others have on them. Now Allah is talking about wealth. Money or assets that you have are not a blessing, nor are they an indication that Allah is happy with you. Similarly, if money and assets are taken away from you, that is not an indication that Allah is angry with you, nor is it an indication that it's a punishment. Being given things or having things taken away are both tests. If something is taken away, you are being tested with regards to how you deal with the situation. Will you be patient? Will you be grateful and hope in Allah's mercy, continuing to do good deeds and helping others? Or will you fall into despair, quit praying, quit doing good deeds, promising to Allah that you will only start again if Allah were to give you your wealth back? In fact, this is a very common problem. Many people promise to Allah that they will give out in sadaqah and they will do extra prayers if Allah were to give them the thing that they desire, such as more wealth or a promotion or passing their exams. You cannot place conditions on Allah. Don't forget that you are the slave and He is the master. A slave is not in any position to bargain with his master. This is one example of stinginess, which Allah does not like. And it's very important to understand because normally when we think of stinginess, we think of someone who does not like to spend in Allah's cause. But stinginess also means to not do zikr, to not do any form of ibadat, unless and until Allah gives you what you want. So when something has been taken away from you and you now have less, continue giving out as much as you can, instead of trying to bargain with Allah and refusing to make any more sacrifices until Allah first gives you what you want. In other words, instead of saying, Allah, if you make me pass my test, then I will do extra nafil, then I will start praying in tahajjud, then I will do so much in terms of sadaqah, do it now. Even though you haven't passed the exam yet, do it now. The idea is understand that life is not about passing the exam. Life is about making Allah happy. And if you have an opportunity to make Allah happy today, then take it. You might not live long enough for you to be able to then give sadaqah or for you to be able to then engage in zikr. So why waste the opportunity now? At the same time, if something is given to you, you are again being tested as to how you deal with the situation. Will you be grateful to Allah? Will you increase the amount that you spend in the cause of Islam? Or will you become stingy, counting every penny that you have and minimizing the amount that you share out? Again, this is another example of stinginess that insan can suffer from when he actually has lots of wealth. The more he has, the more he wants to save, and the more stingy he becomes. At that moment, he encourages others to also minimize the amount they give out, scaring them that if they give out too much, they will face poverty. In fact, sometimes such people become stingy not just because they fear losing everything and becoming poor, but because they don't want others to know how rich they are. They are afraid that if those amongst family and relatives find out, they will come asking for money. Now, of course, I'm not talking about the situation where sometimes people don't like to share their wealth because they are afraid of nazar, they are afraid of the evil eye. That intention is completely different. But if your intention is, I don't want to share this information because people might start coming and asking me for help, then that is an example of stinginess. At times, people also become stingy to their spouses. They fail to realize that the increase in wealth and assets that they have are not actually owned by them. It is all owned by Allah, and that is what makes wealth a test. When you are given more of what you wanted, that is in fact a test. Unfortunately, we don't realize that being given the opportunity to help someone is also a huge blessing. Not everyone gets the chance to be a wasila for someone else. The most unfortunate people are not those who are poor. It's those who are rich, but they cannot find any opportunity of spending money in a good cause or helping people. They are either too stingy, or Allah just refuses to give them any opportunity to help someone. At times, Allah will close all doors of becoming a wasila for someone because He does not want to accept your sacrifice, nor does He want to give you a chance. So every time you can avail an opportunity to help someone, that is a true blessing. Take advantage of it immediately. Similarly, we also don't realize that money that we are given is an amanat. It was given to us only with the intention that we use it to help others as well as ourselves. Allah did not give it to us so that we could save and enjoy our lives. It was also given to us so that we could help Allah's makhluk. Over here, it is also important to understand that it is not only wealth and money that is being referred to in these verses. Allah's bounty incorporates everything. So if a person has extra knowledge and wisdom, he should not become stingy and only be willing to share it if he is paid a huge amount of money. That wisdom and knowledge is an amanat. Although he can use it to make money, he must also share it with those who can benefit with that knowledge, yet they don't have the means of paying him anything. For example, if you are a successful doctor, don't just use your knowledge to help patients who can pay you. Also use your knowledge to help those who cannot pay you, but they would greatly benefit from your skills. At times we hide our skills or knowledge because we are afraid that poor people or people amongst our family and relatives will ask us for favors. That is what it means to conceal what you have. It is something that Allah does not like. And that is why Allah refers to such people as disbelievers. It doesn't matter if they call themselves Muslims. In the eyes of Allah, they are kafirs because they are guilty of kufr. Now, how is this kufr? Firstly, because they are committing shirk. They are worshipping their assets, money and wealth over and above Allah. They are not concerned about pleasing Allah, they are concerned about themselves. Secondly, kufr also means to be ungrateful. So when a person becomes stingy and starts hiding his knowledge and wealth from others because he doesn't want to share it, it's a form of ingratitude. Therefore, do not be obsessed with your wealth, knowledge, and assets. You don't own it, nor did you do anything to deserve it. The actual owner is Allah. He gave it to you and He has the ability of taking it away from you. So use it for yourself and also use it to help Allah's makhluk. Use it to gain reward and improve your akhirah. Now, of course, many of us don't like to share our wealth or information about our wealth because of the evil eye. We are terrified of nazar. You can always change your niyat at that time. You can always inform people in your family and in your relatives that I have been able to gain this much amount of wealth, and I'm telling you all this because if anyone needs help, come and ask me. I have been blessed with assets and I will be able to help you. At that point, your niyat automatically changes and there's no concept of evil eye then because you're telling people about your assets with the niyat of helping them. They won't envy you or be jealous of you because they understand that your niyat is coming from a very pure and a very good place. You're not here to show off. You're here to genuinely help them. The verse then talks about the opposite case, those who love to spend only to be seen by people and don't really believe in Allah and the last day. In other words, they will only spend as a marketing strategy to gain popularity. If no one is aware of their efforts or the money they are giving to the poor, they will refrain from giving anything. Such people are companions of Satan, so again, they fall into the category of disbelievers. They are least concerned about Allah and the Akhirah, even though they might be choosing to call themselves Muslims. Now, a final comment on this has to be made regarding overthinking. At times, we tend to overthink a lot when sharing our wealth or doing a good deed. We ask ourselves, am I really doing this for Allah? Or is it that I'm doing this for dunya? Will it be accepted? Understand that although your intention is what counts, being human, our intention can change for a couple of minutes, especially when someone comes and praises us, or when we find out that others are going to learn about our good deeds. For a moment, we might even feel proud. That's perfectly normal, and it doesn't mean that your intention is not pure, provided that the minute you realize your intention is changing, do tawbah and come back on track. In fact, as explained in Surah Baqarah series, that is the reason that Ibrahim a.s. made a dua to Allah that Allah accept the efforts of Ibrahim and Ismail when they constructed the Kaaba. After all, think about it. Why wouldn't Allah accept it? What is there not to accept? They both just built the Kaaba. The fact is that being human, for a second our niyat can change. It's impossible to keep the nafs and our thoughts in check every second of every day. If we could, we would be angels. With Satan whispering in our ears and our nafs desiring fame and attention, we can slip momentarily. And that is why Ibrahim a.s. was asking Allah that Allah, in case there was any momentary slip in intention, in case, then Allah please still accept our service. Now naturally it's hard to imagine a prophet like Ibrahim a.s. slipping even momentarily in his intention, but the idea was that Allah was teaching us through Ibrahim a.s. that temporarily slips in intention can take place. It's okay. What matters is the main intention with which the work started, and the fact that insan does tawbah and comes back when he realizes his thoughts are going in the wrong direction. Overthinking and putting doubt in your intention and fearing that Allah will not accept your work, this is the strategy of Iblis to make you feel hopeless. So don't fall for it. Assalamu alaikum.